afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. Susan?
I did. Got some nice walks in, took advantage of the beautiful weather. How about yourself?
About the same. You put up your Halloween decorations.
I did, yeah.
Got a little wet today.
And then today they got drenched. But now they're drying out again.
All right, we'll get to the weather in just a second. But first, here's what's making news on this Monday. Republican lawmakers are forcing Governor Evers' administration to submit their new health order through the legislature's rulemaking process.
At the U.S. Capitol, Judge Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court confirmation hearings begin. Why Senate Democrats say the hearings shouldn't be happening at all. And President Trump is headed back to Wisconsin after doctors told him he can no longer spread COVID-19 to other people. Let's take a look outside. A wet start to the day, but then the sun came out. Not bad at all. Fall is settling in. Chris Reese is settled in the backyard, and he has the details on the forecast.
Yeah, that's right. That's a beautiful picture right there. The leaves are falling out here on the patio as well. The rain was falling earlier, but that has since gone by the wayside. Those last drops of rain have now left south central Wisconsin. They can be found over Lake Michigan right now. We had that cloud cover that lingered on the backside. Now the cloud cover is fading away. Blue skies. That's going to take us through the rest of the evening, and then clear skies as we begin to move into those overnight hours. 58 is our temperature right now. We were at 64 early this morning, but that rain came through. The temperatures fell. They have been in the 50s ever since. We have a couple of spots that are into the 60s, though, especially across the Driftless region. Our warmest spot is Boscobel at 65. That's no surprise. Prairie du Chien at 63. We're a little bit cooler where that rain has been the last to leave. So Milwaukee at 53 as of now. Here's visible cloud track, though. You see the clouds that were on top of us, and that back edge came in like a knife and just cleared it all out. Here's what we can expect as we go through the rest of the evening. 52 by 8 o'clock. We're going to be in the upper 40s by 10. We're going to keep those overnight low temperatures into the 40s as well. Traffic-wise, things are shaping up pretty good for us on a Monday. I'm not saying any issues other than the common slowdowns on Fish Hatchery. We'll keep an eye on traffic, and I will break down the full forecast as we go through the show.
All right, we'll check back in a little while, Chris. Thank you. Republicans can't undo the emergency order limiting businesses to 25% indoor capacity right now. But under a motion a legislative committee passed today, they hope to get that chance.
News 3's now Naomi Coles joins us now to break this all down. Naomi?
It's a bit of a technicality, but it's the first step to overthrowing that order. Republicans argue Secretary-designate Andrea Palm's order was illegal and that it should have been a rule, which takes an actual vote from lawmakers. Today's vote means the legislature is requiring the rule go through them, giving lawmakers the chance to overturn it. However, the DHS has until November 11th to respond, so nothing would change before then.
And so individuals are going to take precautions as they see fit.
Unfortunately, we saw today more obfuscation, more just trying to block any orders or anything around protecting the people of Wisconsin.
The governor responded today by writing Speaker Robin Vos and Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald a letter. He asked them to sit down with him. Evers also called on Republicans to pull out of lawsuits against his mask mandate, and it's been about 6 months now since the legislature has passed a law.
We will continue to follow it. Naomi, thank you. More than 2,400 new coronavirus cases have been reported in Wisconsin today. That brings the total to nearly 153,000 since the beginning of March. The state passed the 150,000 milestone this weekend. Only 3 weeks ago, Wisconsin hit the 100,000 mark. It took about 6 months to hit that milestone. Area health officials today are once again reminding people to wear masks.
And since then, I think we've realized that you can transmit it even if you don't have symptoms. You can transmit it sometimes just through the act of singing and talking and so on. And so knowing that evidence there, then it makes complete sense to say that everyone should be masking at all times when possible.
Health officials across the state are pushing mask wearing today with the hashtag #MaskUpMonday.
A new outbreak of the coronavirus in China has officials undertaking a massive testing campaign. After finding 12 positive cases in China's port city of Guangzhou, testing is underway for the entire city. That's 9 million people, and authorities say it'll be done in just 5 days. India has now become just the second country in the world after the U.S. to hit 7 million cases of the virus. Its official death toll is over 100,000 people, but experts fear the real total is much higher. There are now more COVID-19 patients in the hospital in England than when restrictions began in March. Officials in the north have put overflow hospitals built this spring on standby.
The Senate confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett are underway on Capitol Hill. If confirmed, Judge Barrett would expand the High Court's conservative majority to 6-3. Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
He swore me in at my investiture.
Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett credited the late conservative Justice Antonin Scalia, a mentor for whom she clerked, with shaping her judicial philosophy.
Courts are not designed to solve every problem or right every wrong in our public life.
Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham defended his party's decision to fast-track her confirmation.
There's never been a situation where you had a president of one party and the Senate of another, where the nominee, the replacement, was made in an election year.
But Democrats say with millions of votes already cast, the vacancy should not be filled until the election is decided, especially with the future of the Affordable Care Act, abortion rights, and the election itself at stake.
President Trump has made it clear he wants another of his appointees on the Supreme Court before the election, because he anticipates court challenges over the vote.
Most Judiciary Committee members attended the hearing in person, but some participated virtually, including Senator Thom Tillis, one of 2 committee members recently diagnosed with the coronavirus. During her opening statement, Barrett, a federal judge and law school professor, also praised the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, despite very different ideologies.
I have been nominated to fill Justice Ginsburg's seat, but no one will ever take her place. I will be forever grateful for the path she marked.
Judge Barrett's supporters rallied outside the Supreme Court as her hearing got underway, while those opposed to her nomination protested in front of the Senate office building. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
If confirmed, the mother of 7 would be the first mother of school-aged children to sit on the High Court. State Democrats say what's happening in Washington is more of the same of what's happening with Republicans in Wisconsin.
Eric Franke joins us now with more on reaction to today's Supreme Court hearings from the Wisconsin perspective. Eric?
Mark and Susan, it was a week ago. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson, while battling COVID-19 himself, said he'd wear a moon suit to the Senate to make sure he could cast a vote for Judge Barrett. Democratic Attorney General Josh Kaul in Wisconsin says this is a rushed hearing. Another example, he says, of Republicans urgently trying to entrench themselves in power while doing very little to help citizens with health care or to fight the pandemic.
Moving forward with this confirmation in the Senate right now is, first of all, a failure to do the Senate's duty of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. And secondly, will lead to harmful health consequences for people in Wisconsin and across the country. So I am opposed to moving forward with this confirmation.
I think America is going to see what I've certainly seen in Judge Barrett is, again, just a great person, a highly qualified judge, a highly respected judge.
Senator Johnson says he never had any symptoms after testing positive for COVID-19. That was 10 days ago. Today reiterated his opposition to the governor's mask mandate. Senator Johnson said Democratic objections to today's hearings in that hybrid in-person virtual format were unfounded, but the full Senate will vote on Judge Barrett. That has to be in person eventually, and it'll likely happen before the end of the month. Mark?
All right, Eric, thank you. More than 2 weeks after canceling a trip to Janesville after a positive COVID-19 test, President Trump will campaign in the city this weekend. His campaign announced that he will attend an invite-only fundraising dinner. A minimum donation of $1,000 is required to attend. No public event has been announced at this time. Tonight, President Trump holds an in-person campaign rally in Florida for the first time since his treatment for coronavirus. This week marks President Trump's return to the campaign trail with stops planned in 4 key states, beginning with Florida. The White House has yet to confirm whether the president has tested negative for coronavirus, though the president claims that he has recovered and is now immune. Democratic nominee Joe Biden and Vice President Mike Pence are both campaigning today in the battleground state of Ohio.
Times are hard. Unemployment is way up due to the pandemic and the terrible way in which it's been handled.
Vote, Ohio. Vote to re-elect President Donald Trump.
The latest CBS News Battleground Troll Pack tracker poll shows Ohio as a toss-up, but the president has yet to deliver on his 2016 campaign promise for an alternative to Obamacare, and his Democratic challenger argues his Supreme Court pick would vote to strip away the Affordable Care Act.
Longtime Dane County Board Supervisor Paul Rusk has died. Rusk represented District 12, which covers the village of Maple Bluff and the north side of Madison. He was originally elected to the board back in 2002. He served as chair of the Public Protection and Judiciary Committee for more than a dozen years. He was currently serving on the Public Works and Transportation Committee. He was 65 years old.
As the remnants of Hurricane Delta track through the Northeast, Louisiana is cleaning up a trail of destruction. This is Creole, Louisiana, on the Gulf Coast, where Hurricane Delta made landfall Friday night with 100-mile-per-hour winds. 40 miles north of here is the city of Lake Charles. This is where the LeBeau family is living. Bailey said that her family moved out of their home after Hurricane Laura tore off most of the roof 7 weeks ago. Then Friday evening, the blue tarps covering the roof were ripped away during Hurricane Delta, which allowed rainwater to pour in. Even this building they got to temporarily house their belongings in was flipped over by Delta.
This is the first time we've come back to something that we can actually fix.
Tracy Joseph had no major damage during Hurricane Laura 7 weeks ago. She took in 5 family members left homeless by it. Then last weekend, they evacuated to Houston for Hurricane Delta. When they got back, they walked in to find this. There have been at least 2 storms-related deaths in Louisiana.
The Wisconsin Badger football team's first game of the season will be played under Friday night lights. The team finalized the 9-game shortened season today. Next Friday, the Badgers will play Illinois at Camp Randall at 7 o'clock. An important note, since no fans will be allowed at the games this year, the game will air on Big Ten Network.
Still to come at 4, what to watch and what to skip.
Film critic Will Loper has movie and streaming suggestions for you. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
The Golf Range and Suites of I-10's Golfland provide safe fun. Golf range buckets and balls are sanitized after each use, and high-touch areas are regularly sanitized. Full grill and bar service is provided safely to your golf suite by waitstaff. Try fun, easy-to-play top tracer games like Go Fish, only at I-10's Golfland.
Donald Trump is lying about Medicare and Social Security. Trump's pushing to slash Medicare benefits. He's proposed eliminating the funding source for Social Security, a plan that would drain Social Security by 2023. Joe Biden will protect Medicare, and he's proposed a plan to increase Social Security benefits. The choice is clear. Donald Trump will cut Medicare and Social Security. Joe Biden will protect them.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Ladies, check it out. So strong, so not ripped.
What are we talking about?
That's the Hefty Ultra Strong bag.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Give me the bag.
Get Hefty Ultra Strong at a low price.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. When it's made with love, it's made to be shared.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd NOVAK. Todd NOVAK is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill, helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd NOVAK is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd NOVAK led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd NOVAK for State Assembly.
The pandemic is spreading, and people with pre-existing health conditions are most at risk. But Donald Trump is still trying to repeal protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Joe Biden took on the insurance companies and forced them to cover pre-existing conditions. As president, he'll give Americans the choice to buy public health insurance like Medicare and bring down costs by negotiating with hospitals and drug companies. Joe has a plan. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
That's half the fun of a new house, seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun, too.
Oh, it's a tiny dancer.
Well, they left a ton of stuff up here.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope. No, thank you.
Geico could help you save on homeowners and renters insurance.
By 10's Golfland offers 3 award-winning 18-hole miniature golf courses, 2 outside and 1 inside, all open day and night. Have peace of mind. Miniature golf clubs and balls are sanitized after each use, and high-touch areas are regularly sanitized. Enjoy safe fun for everyone at By 10's Golfland.
Welcome back, everyone. Apple is expected to introduce a new line of iPhones tomorrow after weeks of delays due to the pandemic. Multiple reports indicate Apple will unveil 4 new iPhones, ranging in sizes up to 6.7 inches, which would be its largest screen yet. The invitation to the virtual event uses the phrase high speed, which hints that the new models take advantage of emerging 5G wireless networks. Only a fraction of smartphones sold so far in 2020 are equipped for 5G capability. The launch could mean that Apple is joining the 5G revolution in a big way, although the high-speed networks are still being installed nationwide. The pandemic has given many Americans a new perspective on life.
For some people, that's led to discovering family they never knew. Philip Harrisek, seen here with his wife and child, always knew he was adopted, but never looked for his birth family until his son came home with a school project. The 35-year-old took an ancestry DNA test and quickly discovered a connection.
First thing I saw was a mother and an aunt. My aunt reached out to me immediately.
This summer, he was able to hug his aunt, who only lives a couple of hours away. He hasn't met his mother yet, but they've spoken a few times by phone. Philip isn't the only one looking for family during the pandemic. Ancestry.com saw a 37% increase in new subscribers from March to July. On Wall Street, stocks hit a 6-week high. The Dow Industrials added 250 points, closing at 28,837. The Nasdaq surged 296 points, or 2.5%. The S&P 500 was up 57. Well, the rain this morning made it feel like a great day to sit inside and watch a movie or a TV show.
If you're looking for something to watch, Will Loper has some of the best and worst options in this week's Loper Report.
Hey, Americans, Susan. Well, after 5 weeks on top of the U.S. box office, the time-bending thriller Tenet has finally been kicked to second place. And what's the movie that took #1? The War with Grandpa.
I want to put up with this, Pete. I demand my room back, or else it's war.
Declaration of war. Give me back what is mine, or face the consequences. Okay.
Robert De Niro stars as a grandpa who moves in with his daughter Uma Thurman and her family. And his grandson decides to wage war on Gramps after he's kicked out of his bedroom.
Do you guys even remember how to play dodgeball?
So you don't need your diaper changed?
Sure you don't?
The film is filled with cheesy humor that's trying way too hard to be funny. If you're a fan of seeing a 77-year-old Academy Award-winning man trip and fall on marbles and have his pants fall down multiple times, you'll enjoy this movie. But for everyone else, you're safe in skipping The War with Grandpa. On video on demand, a movie that is worth checking out is The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
It's a wolf. Or maybe it's a werewolf.
No, let me just make this perfectly clear. There is no such thing as werewolves. Our killer is a guy, and I'm gonna find him, and I'm gonna kill... And we're gonna bring him to justice.
A small-town sheriff has to figure out who or what is behind a series of murders. Is it just a man, or is there a werewolf in town? Those looking to get into the Halloween spirit will more than appreciate this film, which is available to buy on VOD for $14.99 and can be rented on October 27th.
You want to be sheriff? How about we start acting like one?
Speaking of the spooky season, over on streaming services, we got The Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix.
It's going to sound strange, but I'm having somebody else's dream.
The 9-episode series, loosely based on The Turn of the Screw, follows a governess who watches 2 young children and begins to see, well, scary stuff. Also new on Netflix is the 40-year-old version.
Remember this face? She was one of Spotlight Magazine's 30 under 30 playwrights to watch. We watched, but where'd she go?
Rada Blank writes, directs, and stars in the film about a playwright who reinvents herself as a rapper.
Think about me doing hip-hop.
Doing what to it?
I want to make a mixtape about the 40-year-old woman's point of view.
And finally, those looking for the weirdest experience of the year, Cats is now streaming on HBO Max.
Here we go!
Of all the scary series and movies that are new this week, Cats is easily the most terrifying of them all. Ooh, that's the stuff of nightmares. For Live 4, I'm Will Loper. Sending it back to you, Mike and Susan.
How does something so go terribly wrong like that?
That's a good question. I mean, it's fascinating to see the costumes and stuff, but I agree with Will. It's kind of creepy. Yeah.
All right, there's more at 4. A new study shows a shocking number of families in this country don't have enough to eat.
We'll have the numbers and what can be done to ease the problem coming up after Chris's First Warn forecast.
About $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
People were afraid I was contagious. I felt gross.
It was kind of a shock after I started Cosentyx.
4 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentyx. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur. Learn more at Cosentyx.com.
We took a bad economy that was falling and turned it around. Trump took a good economy and drove it back into the ditch through his failure to get COVID under control, his failure to deliver real relief to working people. Does he not understand and see the tens of millions of people who've had to file for unemployment this year so far? The people who lost wages while the cost of groceries have gone up dramatically? Donald Trump has been almost singularly focused on the stock market, the Dow and NASDAQ. Not you, not your families. My plan will help create at least 5 million new, good-paying jobs and create them right here in the United States of America. Let's use this opportunity to take bold investments in American industry and innovation so the future is made in America. I'll be laser focused on working families. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Joe Biden isn't an epidemiologist. He's not an economist or military general. But what he is the kind of leader who listens to the experts and a candidate who has earned their support. And what he'll be is a president who leads us out of this crisis and a commander-in-chief who respects those who have served. Because Joe Biden knows this moment is not about him, but about what we can do together. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Well, take a look at this. 3 men conducting a photo shoot on a boat in a busy Florida river somehow went overboard, leaving the 24-foot vessel unmanned and out of control. It circles around the men who are now in the water numerous times, forcing them to dive underwater so it wouldn't run them over. Eventually, the boat straightened out, hit a concrete dock, went airborne, hits a second dock before coming to a stop. The men were able to swim to a nearby sailboat. An investigation is underway.
That's incredible.
They
are so lucky.
They are lucky, yep. Well, it's time for Potentially Yours here on Live at 4. Let's help QT find a forever home.
QT is a 1-year-old female cat. Oh, what a
cutie.
What a pretty girl with a stunning coat and matching light brown eyes. She's ready to show a family a good time full of games and snuggling. She almost looks like she has a little smile on her face, doesn't she? Anyone interested in her should call the Dane County Humane Society. The number is 838-0413.
She's a cutie. The Dane County Humane Society is holding its annual Firefighters Calendar Sale. You can buy the calendar for $20. It benefits the Humane Society and Geo's Garden. It features area firefighters alongside their pets, rescue pets, and Humane Society alumni animals.
Let's take a look at last week's pet. We are happy to tell you that Chad, remember Chad with the,
with the 1 ear?
With the misshapen ear? Chad was adopted.
Oh, that's great news.
That is great news. If you're interested in adopting or checking out other animals at the Humane Society, go to giveshelter.org or give them a call to set up an appointment, 838-0413.
I'm glad you got a home.
We're looking forward to having the pets back in the studio. We miss them, don't we?
It's always so much fun.
Yeah.
But instead we have Chris.
That's me.
Looking for a forever home.
Hey, at least I come with some fantastic news. The rain is moving on out. We have sunshine, and a lot of that sunshine is going to take us through at least the first part of the week before even more changes come our direction. That full forecast coming up right after this break.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Donald Trump is lying about Medicare and Social Security. Trump's pushing to slash Medicare benefits. He's proposed eliminating the funding source for Social Security, a plan that would drain Social Security by 2023. Joe Biden will protect Medicare, and he's proposed a plan to increase Social Security benefits. The choice is clear. Donald Trump will cut Medicare and Social Security. Joe Biden will protect them.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Brian from McGann Furniture in Baraboo. At McGann's, our #1 priority is treating our customers right. We want your shopping experience to be fun and informative, so you have all the information you need to make smart choices. We're shoppers too, and we believe in treating our guests like family. We always have and always will. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo. You'll be so glad you did.
Here at Harker Heating and Cooling of Madison, we are proudly celebrating over 70 years of excellence. A lot can change in 70 years, but some things never do, like our commitment to providing our customers with 100% satisfaction every single day. When you make that call to Harker, you can be rest assured that a team of qualified, trustworthy, skilled individuals are ready to address your home service concerns. Harker Heating and Cooling, your hometown heroes for over 70 years.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
This election is about building this country back better. And that's what Joe and I will do. We'll create millions of jobs, bring back critical supply chains so the future is made in America. Build on the Affordable Care Act. Offer caregivers the dignity, the respect, and the pay they deserve. We have a chance to choose a better future for our country.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
the clouds and rain move throughout the day, but now the back edge of that starting to move out over Lake Michigan. This means sunshine is taking hold once again across the upper Midwest. Here's how things look in Platteville right now. You can actually not find a cloud in the sky from our Queen Bee Radio sky camera. Still a couple of clouds out there over Madison, but those are all getting ready to go by the wayside as well. Temperatures dropped into the 50s when that rain came through. We're still in the 50s now. That sunshine has allowed us to warm up into the upper 50s. But overall, things stayed fairly steady. Here's high resolution Doppler right now. If you're looking for rain, you're gonna have to go out over Lake Michigan to find any of that. But even still, that's moving closely and now on to the state of Michigan at this point. Overall, we are now starting to see this cold front sweep all the moisture out along with the warmest of the air. We're still going to stay cool, though, as we go into this week before we get colder moving towards the end of the week. Here's some of the evidence of that cold front, by the way. Temperatures are some 15 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago in Indianapolis right now, but a lot of cooler air is being felt over the Midwest, and we're going to see more where that came from as we start to work our way towards the end of this week. Check this out with me. This is Wednesday, and I want to show you the cooler air that's developing throughout parts of Canada. That's going to be on the move as we start to move into your Thursday. It really settles in Friday and into Saturday before another shot of cooler air moves in Sunday and into Monday. So that's why we've been saying enjoy these warm days. All weekend we said it. It's because this continues to look like a probability that we'll see as we start to move through the upcoming weekend and into next week. Let me show you the kind of colder air that we're talking about. Here's the leading edge of that into Thursday. Notice what's happening throughout the North Woods. That's where we're just cold enough that any rain may have some snowflakes mixed in with that. As that cooler air pours in, some of these systems that zip through parts of the North Woods could be just cold enough that they get flurries. Now, while I'm not expecting any kind of accumulating snow event, we're a bit early in the season to be talking about that. It's not impossible, but I'm just letting you know that's the kind of chill that I'm expecting as we move through the weekend and into early next week. That being said, temperatures will cool down from the 50s and into the 40s overnight tonight. We'll see a southerly wind take over as we move into tomorrow. We also may see a little bit of cloud cover at times into tomorrow, but overall expect a generally sunny afternoon. Temperatures will top out into the mid 60s. Then we move into Wednesday. That's where we start to see a little bit more in the way of some cloud cover. Look for a mix of sun and clouds really hanging with us throughout the week. You're going to see your periods of sunshine. You're going to see your periods where things are a little bit gray. Temperatures get cooler by Thursday. You'll notice that cool down into the weekend where we are struggling to get out of the 20s. A freeze is likely Friday night into Saturday. That's where we have our forecast low temperatures into the upper 20s.
Here we go.
Here we are, but hey, there's still a lot of sunshine. You know, let's take advantage of this drier weather that while we have it, but things are going to be cooler.
Yeah, tomorrow looks beautiful.
Yeah, will be.
All right, Chris, thank you. A new report shows the shocking amount of families without enough food to eat.
During the summer, the Census Bureau says kids in up to 13 million households did not have enough food to eat. And less than 20% of children who qualified for free and reduced lunch got the meals they needed.
Nancy Cordes looked into why it's been so difficult to keep those nutrition programs running at full capacity during remote learning.
In Cincinnati, Ohio, 85% of students qualified for food assistance even before the pandemic hit.
Hey there, kiddos. How are you?
When the schools shut down, officials made sure no student lived more than a mile from a pickup site like this one. But still, the city served just 10% of the meals it did when schools were open.
I don't know what we would have done without it.
Ashley O'Neill runs a food truck with her husband. The mom of two worries about sending her daughters back to school in person starting this week.
Anxiety's high. We don't really know what to expect. I don't have a 9 to 5 where I absolutely have to be there. And for the people that do have that, I'm sure they're freaking out right now.
23.4 million families nationwide have lost income due to the pandemic. Many children qualifying for the National School Lunch Program for the first time because their family is suddenly making less than about $48,000 a year.
Have a good day.
Community Community groups have stepped in to help, but schools remain a major source of food for children. And 80% of schools report serving fewer meals after they shut down last spring.
A lot of our families are in a new position of unemployment. This is new for them not to be able to go out and purchase food.
Jessica Shelley is Cincinnati's director of student dining services. She has relied on waivers from the Department of Agriculture to distribute food regardless of whether families have formally been approved for benefits.
I think there might be students in the district that aren't getting the nutrition they need each day. And that's why it's so important that meal boxes and meals are available for all students. So there is no stigma attached to getting a school meal, and that all families can feel like they can come and get the nutrition they need.
In late August, Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue told lawmakers that allowing schools to feed all children for free was beyond his agency's authority. Less than 2 weeks later, Perdue reversed course, extending the summer meals program through the end of December. And last month, Congressman Bobby Scott helped secure funding for the program to continue until the end of the school year.
You don't have to go to a specific site. You don't have to show that you're qualified for a free meal or a reduced price meal or a full price meal. You can just get your meal. There's already significant childhood hunger going on in America today. We can avoid this. We can minimize it if we fund these programs appropriately.
At this point, it's crucial.
Ryan Lopez was laid off in March.
How many kids do you have? Three.
He says free school meals have removed a major burden on his budget, which is still recovering from the expiration of federal unemployment benefits.
I went from making over $1,500 a week to now I'm just over $400 a week. There's no longevity to any of these plans. It just seems like next week we'll figure it out, next week we'll figure it out, next week we'll figure it out.
Have a great day.
Many nutrition programs rely on meal delivery as a source of revenue, and now that they're serving far fewer meals, they are facing a budget shortfall. Cincinnati alone is losing $1 million a month. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Those numbers are alarming.
They are, yeah, startling.
Hard to believe in America that's going on, but it is. All right, there's more to come at 4. Later on, we'll talk with happiness expert Christine Whelan.
And then coming up tonight at 5, more than a month after a major COVID outbreak on UW-Madison's campus, the campus is reporting only a small number of new cases. We'll tell you what's working for campus officials.
President Trump is recovering from the coronavirus, and so is America. Together, we rose to meet the challenge, protecting our seniors, getting them life-saving drugs in record time, sparing no expense. President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
We'll get through this together. We'll live carefully, but not afraid.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
We are the Thrivers. Women with metastatic breast cancer, standing in the struggle, hustling through the hurt, asking for science, not sorries. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant or a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor. Kisqali is the only treatment in its class with proven overall survival results in 2 clinical trials, helping women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali was also significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. It's our time to continue to shine because we are the Thrivers. Ask your doctor about Kisqali, the only treatment in its class proven to help women live longer in 2 clinical trials.
It's A1 Furniture's 41st anniversary sale. Huge selection of name brand mattresses with free white glove delivery on any purchase of $9.99 or more. Plus, get 4 years free financing with qualified purchase. The best deal on a mattress is at A1 Furniture's 41st anniversary sale. On now.
Have some home projects on your list? Whether it's a fix now or fix up down the road, count on Home Advisor's trusted local pros to get the job done right. It's easy to schedule, check prices, and pay for all your home projects. So get the Home Advisor app and we'll do everything to fix your everything.
Tonight at 5, as COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin increase, cases at universities are decreasing. What UW System President Tommy Thompson says is the reason for that decline.
With the rain gone, skies will become mostly clear overnight. We're in for a seasonable few days before a very chilly end to the week. We'll look at your full forecast.
And ahead at 6, Eric Trump campaigns for his father in Milton today. And we're learning the president plans to make up for his canceled rally in Janesville. We'll have a preview tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live look at Minneapolis, where the trees are really changing there.
Yeah, look at that.
Sun's out. Beautiful day up there as well. Well, millions of Americans know characters like young Sheldon as super smart prodigies on TV, but today we meet the real deal.
Caleb Anderson is a kid genius. He's not even a teenager yet, but he's already cruising through college and is set to go to a prestigious university. Mark Strassman has the story.
Whip smart kids apply every year to Georgia Tech, but no one like Caleb Anderson. He's 12.
I'm not really smart. I just grasp information quickly. So if I learn quicker, then I can get ahead faster.
This elite engineering school fell over itself recruiting him.
Plug it in here.
Caleb saw the labs. He met the school's president.
I have heard so much about you. Welcome to Georgia Tech.
Thank you.
He's a perfect candidate to come into our program and be very successful.
Is his admission guaranteed?
I would expect that he would be admitted for sure.
Admitted to study aerospace engineering. Claire and Kobe Anderson, Caleb's parents.
What's it like to be touring a college when your kid is 12?
I don't think anything that Caleb's done has been normal for us.
By age 1, he was reading.
Look at this. Fun.
At 2, he knew sign language and how to do fractions.
1, 2, 3. I have this distinct memory of going to the first grade class and learning there. Everyone was way taller than me because, I was 2. I could barely walk.
Middle school was awful. It always is.
The kids there, they kind of looked down on me, or they treated me like I was an anomaly, and which I kind of am.
He's taken college courses for a year. His parents now want a university that's the right fit for a tween genius.
We want him to be in an environment where he's accepted and not tolerated.
If he comes to Georgia Tech, he's not rushing a fraternity.
No.
No. Not at all. We're definitely protecting him.
Make sure that when he is an adult, that he'll make a great husband or great father, a great friend one day.
Lots of people think they're the smartest person in the room. Caleb really is.
Does it ever occur to you, you know what, I'm looking at college and I'm 12 years old.
This is my life. This is how I am. And I've been living this way my whole life.
He accepts that he's different. Definitely smart.
What is it?
Mark Strassman, Atlanta.
Not to mention mature, articulate. Incredible.
It is incredible.
Wow.
12 years old, going to college. Well, still to come at 4 as the pandemic rolls on. Do you feel like you're running on empty?
Yeah, we were just saying, it's only Monday today. You are not alone. And in fact, there is a scientific name for the way you feel. We'll find out about it when Live at 4 continues.
We all know that we must fix our criminal justice system. Here is Joe Biden's plan to reform it. Ending mandatory minimum sentences, ending private prisons, and end cash bail. A real plan for real change.
I believe my criminal justice reform package is as strong or stronger than anyone else, than anyone has proposed.
We will create a system that's fair and just.
And we can get there together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
Hey, you guys gonna get started?
We're just waiting for the activation fee.
But I already paid for the day.
Yeah, and then it's $100 to activate us.
Activate you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you, a cyborg?
It's crazy to charge people for things they already bought.
I'm gonna get my wallet.
That's why at US Cellular, we speak fair and never charge activation fees. Switch to US Cellular and get $500 off the latest smartphones with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Upgrade to fair.
Each year, Americans waste $21 billion by overpaying on car insurance. That's why I went to thezebra.com. Because while every company claims to save you money on car insurance, the Zebra shows you who actually can. You can easily compare quotes from top providers all at once. With the Zebra, you can save up to $375 a year. No fees and no spammy phone calls. Because who needs that?
See what you can save. Compare car insurance for free at thezebra.com.
A woman who was young had COVID-19. I remember her because she had a bracelet that had the names of her children. She asked me, "Doctor, am I going to be okay?" And I could not give her the answer that I wanted to give her. There's no excuse for why we don't have this under control at this point. Joe Biden listens to medical experts. He actually has a plan that does the things that we should have been doing many months ago. And Joe Biden is not going to let his ego get in the way of fighting the disease.
FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Donald Trump is lying about Medicare and Social Security. Trump's pushing to slash Medicare benefits. He's proposed eliminating the funding source for Social Security, a plan that would drain Social Security by 2023. Joe Biden will protect Medicare, and he's proposed a plan to increase Social Security benefits. The choice is clear. Donald Trump will cut Medicare and Social Security. Joe Biden will protect them.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
We are watching the traffic for you guys. So far, no big issues show up. We're still lucking out pretty well. The Beltline moving along closer to 60 miles per hour or so. Look at that combination of weather and traffic. In the meantime, your slowest route is going to take you 7 minutes. It's from University to Verona Road, and that's moving around 61 miles per hour, guys.
Thank you. A 35-year-old superfan, or Stan, has set a world record for her M&M tattoos. Nikki Patterson from Scotland has 16 tattooed portraits of the rapper. Guinness World Record says that's enough to earn her the title of the most tattoos of the same musician tattooed on her body. Yes, that's a category. Patterson says Stan was the first M&M song that she heard as a teenager, and it was instant love. Stans are defined as extremely enthusiastic and devoted fans. Overall, Patterson has 28 pieces of M&M-themed ink, making her a Stan.
I hope Eminem gets to see that. He should know about that.
Yeah, he should know about that. Well, as the pandemic drags on, many of us are losing our energy. Zoom cocktail parties have lost their novelty, and Netflix can only release so many new series.
Yeah, many of us are feeling bored, listless, afraid, and uncertain. Well, it turns out there is a word that perfectly captures the emotions that we are all feeling right now. UW-Madison professor Christine Whelan is back with us today.
Good to see you.
Hi, Christine.
Hi there. Good to see you guys.
So what is this word? What's the magic word?
So the magic word is acedia, and it's an old word that was really used mostly by Christian monks back in like the 4th and 5th century. But what it means is this sort of paradoxical feeling of both being bored and being anxious, of sort of feeling purposeless and meaningless, but also on edge. And what's really interesting about the concept is that it used to really be mostly thought of as people who were cloistered and taken out of society, so that monastic life, separate from everybody, and social isolation. So it kind of wasn't a word that we used very much until, oh my goodness, now we're in a time of pandemic, and we are spatially and isolated from people. We're feeling increasingly socially and emotionally isolated from people. And all of a sudden, my Facebook feed and all of my articles are talking about, hey, what is this word, acedia? So I thought it was time to bring it back into the lexicon.
Yeah, we're all kind of living like monks these days. So for people who are feeling like this, what's the solution?
Right. So with this idea of acedia, first, one good thing about it is that when we can name a weird feeling, it becomes more real. And so this is a really important thing for people. So naming the feeling, knowing that you are not alone in feeling this way, hopefully validates a lot of people. So you can look up acedia. There are books on it. There's been like a lot of writing on this term, but it's fallen out of favor. So think about whether acedia is what you are feeling right now. And if it is, the monks had their solution for it, and their solution was routine, routine, routine. So set up a routine and take pleasure in the smaller things of life. And that can be really good for some people. For others of us, we need to kind of think bigger. We need to think about our purpose and the why behind what we're doing, to live our daily lives with a greater sense of meaning. And then for many of us, just reaching out and talking to somebody makes all the difference, whether it's going on a socially distanced walk with a friend, talking to a therapist, reaching out for the mental health help that we need, because these are difficult times.
And if you do those things, you can overcome the acedia.
Yeah, you can overcome it, or at least you can kind of integrate it and know what it is as you're feeling it. Because we all have so many feelings, but giving a name to it really kind of allows some emotional regulation such that we don't have to let those feelings rule our lives.
What's happened to me this weekend? I was going to cut down all the hosses and everything, but I just didn't get around to it. Just watch TV.
I find that all the time these days. Yeah, and so I've now said what I'm going to do every morning is get out and go for a walk. First thing, I get the kids off to school and I go for a walk outside. And it takes a lot of activation energy to do that, but I feel better at the end of it. And so if we can create some of those positive routines for ourselves, little things are going to make a big difference in the months ahead.
Yeah, it's important that you know you're not alone, because you can get through anything as long as you know you're not alone.
And it's good to have a name for it, too.
Yeah, right.
It is, and now we have a way to talk to people about it. So, it's like talk to your friends about acedia.
I got the acedia.
See if that's something that you are feeling.
There you go.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Christine, thank you very much. Get outside, take a walk.
Stay well. We hope to see you here in the studio very soon.
I look forward to it. Hang in there, everyone.
You too. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
For your roll playback.
Happy Hour just got hoppier at IHOP with a $5 menu featuring pancakes, burgers, and more yum-yums. So while you can't buy happiness, you can buy hoppiness. iHoppy Hour, every day from 2 to 10 p.m.
We aren't radical, so why would we want one representing us in Madison? Chris Marion is an extreme partisan liberal who's just fine with calling political opponents Nazis, dictators, and enemies. And Chris Marion wants to take more of your paycheck, too. Marion supports eliminating levy limits, causing property taxes to skyrocket, crushing families as they try to recover. And Marion backs the radical Green New Deal that will cost trillions, destroy jobs, and increase taxes. Chris Marion, just too radical.
When Joe Biden wants an update on the virus, he calls on the nation's top health experts. Working together for all Americans is what Joe does. When writing his healthcare plan, Joe Biden worked with both doctors and patients to make healthcare affordable by lowering premiums, reducing drug costs, and protecting people with pre-existing conditions. Joe listened to both small business owners and workers to create his economic plan that cuts taxes for middle-class families, creates 18 million new jobs in his first term, and raises wages by as much as $15,000 a year. Joe Biden's plans will help working families immediately by making the super rich finally pay their fair share. For Joe, it's never been about ego. It's always been about the work he can do for working families. It's what he's always done. Joe Biden brings everyone to the table and gets it done.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Tonight at 5, a circuit court judge has sided with Governor Tony Evers' mask order. This comes as the state legislature is meeting to review the governor's order on limiting gathering sizes. The latest ahead tonight, News 3 Now at 5.
Candidates and campaign ads zero in on Wisconsin, the regions they're targeting, and why.
The cities are going one direction and the outlying areas are going the other way.
News 3 Now breaks down the data that could help capture the battleground Badger State tonight at 10.
That sunshine has come back, and we're going to enjoy that all the way for the rest of this evening. We're going to enjoy that sunshine into most of your Tuesday as well. There may be a couple of clouds that pass by on Tuesday, but look for sunshine throughout the afternoon and temperatures into the mid-60s on Wednesday. Then we start to see the cool down. We're in the 50s for Thursday, 40s for the weekend and into early next week, but we're also watching those overnight lows closely. Thursday night, we go down to 31. We were in the upper 20s as we move into Friday night. This could be the first big cold front of the season, and then we're keeping those lows close to the freezing mark as we move into next week. It could be cold enough that maybe some spots get a flurry or two. Right now, that just seems a little bit more unlikely. Guys?
All right, that's good. Thank you, Chris. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, most of us smile when a songbird sings, but what does it do? What does the bird get out of it? You'd be surprised.
And Consumer Reports has some home office strategies for the long term. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Donald Trump is lying again. Joe Biden will not raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000. Biden will close tax loopholes for big corporations. Trump's tax cut giveaway exploded our debt, so he's threatening Social Security and Medicare. Biden will make the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share, so we can protect Social Security and Medicare and invest in schools and health care.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
The pandemic is spreading, and people with pre-existing health conditions are most at risk. But Donald Trump is still trying to repeal protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Joe Biden took on the insurance companies and forced them to cover pre-existing conditions. As president, he'll give Americans the choice to buy public health insurance like Medicare and bring down costs by negotiating with hospitals and drug companies. Joe has a plan. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Ask about $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses.
Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
We took a bad economy that was falling and turned it around. Trump took a good economy and drove it back into the ditch through his failure to get COVID under control, his failure to deliver real relief to working people. Does he not understand and see the tens of millions of people who've had to file for unemployment this year so far? The people who lost wages while the cost of groceries have gone up dramatically? Donald Trump has been almost singularly focused on the stock market, the Dow and NASDAQ. Not you, not your families. My plan will help create at least 5 million new, good-paying jobs and create them right here in the United States of America. Let's use this opportunity to take bold investments in American industry and innovation so the future is made in America. I'll be laser focused on working families. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
In today's Final Touch, like most businesses this year, the Double M Haunted Hayride in Malta, New York, had to make a few adjustments.
But they're still able to scare the life out of its customers. Brave participants have been risking it all by entering through these gates for the last 3 decades. Owner Leo Martin and his wife are the masterminds behind the thrills and chills at the Double M Haunted Hayride. But this year of the COVID, there's no hayride. Instead, visitors are spooked in their cars. The hayride has become a drive-through experience this year. Cars will be stopped at 13 different stages.